good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Certainly hope you're having a nice Sunday here. I know overseas it could be Monday, Monday afternoon. But shout out to everybody that's here. I do appreciate you being here. Kind of here on a somber day at a funeral yesterday. I knew a young man that I grew up with, 47, 48 years old, passed away of a stroke. And very, very sad. Just sad. I know his brother, mentioned his brother's name on this show a couple times. So definitely hope that the I won't mention the name of the deceased, but I certainly hope they had a nice a nice transition, and certainly wish him, his brother Freddie, and his mom Brenda, a peace. It's they're doing about as well as you can expect if you care about it. But yeah, what can you do when your younger brother and your youngest son passes? It's tough. It's tough. So you can imagine that. So, but yeah, a somber Sunday, I'll call it. So yeah, I mean, I had a head of steam earlier in the week after Nintendo's thing, and but yeah, that's over and done with. I'm past that now. It is what it is, and so I'm gonna tell you all where I stand on it. I'm gonna then we can then talk about what the tariffs are going to do to electronics and gaming. I'm not gonna get into the politics of it. I'm not gonna get into the politics. So so we'll just go from there. And then yeah, Nintendo, they have reset the market um just as I thought they would. And so now the games have gone up, just as I told you that they would. And you all are either going to participate or you won't. That's all there is to it. Either you'll participate or you won't participate. So, and that's the way the free market works. So, but we'll go ahead and get started. So, I'm Craig the Tech Guy. It is Sunday. It is April 6th. So, I certainly hope everything's going okay with you all. All right. So, let's get into it here. So, let's go ahead and start with me becoming a Nintendo fan. Well, people have asked me and said all kind of things about this. I have specifically said for the last 3 years, if you've been listening to my podcast, I have specifically said if Nintendo brings back Donkey Kong, I will knock you down to go get the Donkey Kong game. I have specifically said that, and so they're bringing back Donkey Kong. So guess what? I'm gonna buy a Switch too. I had a poll up, pause, on if you all thought you would buy a Switch too. And most of you all said yes. Again, you may not buy it the day it comes out. It's not the question though. The question was, are you all going to buy the Switch in spite of the cost? And the majority of you all said yes. So, and that's what I thought would happen. um, Ultimately, we want to play games, and Nintendo's offering games. Now, you can argue whether the games are high level, but that's not why you buy a Nintendo Switch. I mean, I'm hearing people talking about the specs, and because they don't like the price. So they're like, well, the specs aren't even worth it. Well, if you have a Nintendo Switch 1 and you see the improvements that Switch 2 has made, you're like, yes, it's totally worth it. And a lot of those Switches are going to be getting traded in, and they'll knock $150 off of it. That's what cracks me up about some people is that you all want to participate in a luxury hobby and it's in your luxury hobby. The truth is it has been getting subsidized by the industry. All that has happened is that the industry is no longer going to subsidize it. Not anymore. They're not going to subsidize things anymore. So you all better get it ready. Just get ready and understand that you're going to know that the group of people that was subsidizing you is no longer going to do that. So in essence, what do you mean subsidization, Craig? Okay, well, what I mean is that they would take it. The industry, the people in the industry would take a loss per sale. I mean, I'm sure you heard that every time Xbox buys a sells a console, they lose X amount of dollars. Phil Spencer was on CNBC years ago saying, well, they can write off some of the losses with their Xboxes. So again, Sony could too. They just write it off. Nintendo would as well. So you all really need to understand that, and also you need to understand and just accept. You ain't got to understand it, but you're going to accept it, that things are going to go up. Now, how is that going to affect some of your favorite podcasters? Well, they're going to be spending more money, and they're going to be asking you all to supplement them more. But if the economy is going to shit, and you're not going to have the money to do it, and that's fine. Okay, I want to make this clear. If you do not have money to donate, don't donate it. And a lot of people don't have it. And I don't care about your. I'm not a total bastard when it comes to people's. When it comes to people's financial issues, but those aren't my problems. If you can't afford something, you either don't buy it. That's normal. You just don't buy it, or you buy it when it's on sale. I mean, I got a price alert because you all know I've been looking at a new TV and or a new monitor. You all know that. I've told you all that. So, with that being said, yes, I want a new monitor or a TV. Well, if you want to buy the LG C4, if you're looking to buy that TV, it's now on sale for under $1,000. It's right at $1,000, at least in my state. It would cost $996 to buy the 48-inch C4. Now, that's still too expensive for me. So I'm still waiting. If it comes down to $799, I'll buy it. I will buy it. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, if it doesn't go on sale, I just won't be buying one. I have no problem. I want a secondary TV. I want a second TV in my bedroom. So it does not have to be I'm looking at the mini OLEDs, the Hisense TVs. I actually did go and look at them. And they do have really good pictures on is it the U7? Either the U7 or the U8, something like that. I just need to look more into it. But yeah, I'm not a complete bastard when it comes to people's financial situations, but I don't feel sorry for you either. And neither does anybody else. I don't understand why you all have problems understanding that all things are going to go up. I remember being able to buy a Big Mac meal at McDonald's. The Big Mac meal, large, for $2.99. $2.99. Used to be able to get it for $2.99. And people are like, oh my God, that's so expensive. And most people would just, because they just had two sizes. They had large and small. There was nothing else. And it's effed up that what some of these people are on. So there will be no more subsidizing of your hobby. Just that's the reality that you're now in. No more subsidization, so you will be paying. So I understand. Now, how are the tariffs going to affect how the new tariffs going to affect what we like? If you like electronics, well, everything's going to go up. So you get things that are in stock right now. Like if it's physically in stock right now, then you're okay. You're all right. It's physically in stock. It's physically in stock, so you can go ahead and buy it. The price won't change. However, when they run out of that stock, the next batch that comes in will cost more money. It's gonna cost the people more to ship it over here, and it's gonna cost, and they're gonna pass that cost on to you. So who pays for tariffs? Well, we do as taxpayers. We do as taxpayers because the goal of the tariff is to make you buy local. All right? They don't want you to buy things from overseas. They want you to buy them, in this case, in the United States. They want these countries to create jobs in the United States. This is the United States created jobs in their country. NAFTA, North America Free Trade Agreement, Nike came out publicly and said they're not going to make shoes in the United States because it's too expensive. So they're just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So, and the reason why Phil Knight is popular. One of the reasons he's popular is because of he made that money overseas, and he in essence ships it back over to the United States, and he sells it for a ridiculous cost of money. So the people that work for Nike overseas, I know grown men that work for Nike, and they were upset. They were upset that Nike was pushing their job overseas when they got overseas, and they realized, oh, Nike's only gonna, Nike's paying me this, and I'm living in luxury. I'm living in a lap of luxury over here. I don't have to make a lot of money to live over here. And yeah, now these guys have cars, and they have extremely attractive wives, and they have cute kids, and all that kind of stuff. So anything electronic dealing with tariffs that you like, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. And you all better you can go get it today, and pay it off or not. I mean, I was looking at a new motherboard, and I just put it in, if you have Amazon or wherever, you just put it in your cart, because I could get it, I think, for $10 a month if I get it, but I don't, it was a renewed one. It was an MSI 5500B. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's gonna oh man, Mario, man, you ain't shit, man. That is terrible. That he sent me something on Fleece Johnson and talking about cheek busting, and I literally was on the floor laughing. So just, oh man, that was bad, man. It was bad. So how this is going to affect me as a part-time content creator? All right, it's not. And here's why. It is because for the last 16 months, I've been saying that things are going to go up, and you all better get it ready. And I was told, what's going on, Snow Bunny? Shout out to our local Nintendo. The Snow Bunny is welcoming into the Nintendo fold with open arms wide open. She's giving me a big old Mario and Donkey Kong hug. So shout out to Snow Bunny. Yeah, there'll be more content because I'm getting a Nintendo Switch. I gotta get one. I gotta play my Donkey Kong. But man, where was I? Because I get so easily distracted. How's it going to affect me? It's not. It will not affect me. And it's not going to affect me because I've been getting myself ready. Pause. I've been getting myself ready for the last 2 years. Yeah, okay? See, in the manosphere, we told everybody economy is going to start getting busted out, and you need to go ahead and be ready to go through this shock. We told everybody, not just the people in the manosphere. So it's time, if you all listened, then you would be ready. If you didn't listen, and again, I understand why you wouldn't listen, but you need to understand that gaming has been getting subsidized for the last 30 years. And they're no longer going to do it. That's why Sony's PlayStation 5 Pro, when I heard about the technology that was in it, like ray tracing, 60 frames per second, you're still getting the upscaling. The upscaling technology was a wild card. So I get that. If you're going to say to me, well, Craig, I wanted to see what the PSSR was going to do. All right, I think that's fair. But when Mark Cerny came out and said that we have FSR 4 in our console, and that's not even out yet into the open market, I'm like, that should have been enough to move. And it did. The PS5 Pro sold very well. It sold very well. But you got to remember, the PS4 Pro sold at about, was at what, 18 to 21%? So 1 out of 5, that's not the majority. 1 out of 5 is the majority. It's about 20%. So, it's not going to affect me because I was ready for this. Now, what can you do if you game? You don't have to throw your hands up in the air. You have a PlayStation. If you have at least if you have a PlayStation, you have PS Plus. And if you buy the Pro, you don't have to buy any games because The Last of Us, if you want an upgraded version of The Last of Us, you can just buy that. You can get it. Which is not the new one that's made for PS5. It's the one made for PS4. And the one made for PS4 4 got a 60 FPS patch, and it got a 60 FPS, and it got a higher refresh rate. Again, you don't have to play the PS5 version of that game. This like Days Gone, the new Days Gone game is coming out here in a couple weeks, right? The PS5 version. So what that means, what Sony is saying to you, is that we took the tools of the PS5 and PS5 Pro and we ginned it all the way up for this game. So you're a big fan of Days Gone, then buy the remaster of it. Because you're going to have the 60, you're going to have the 120, you're going to have the higher refresh rate, you're going to have better resolution. I think the characters will be able to change clothes. You know, so that is what it is. So, but you do have, my point is, you do have, like, I just downloaded RoboCop. Now I haven't played it because my God, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that game is stunning. Like, that game is stunning. So, you know, I don't it's the way it's going to affect your favorite YouTubers is they are going to start complaining about the cost of everything. Because in order for their channels to survive, they have to have access to the latest technologies. When you look at the most successful YouTube channels, they have partnerships with the people they're dealing with, whether it's Linus Tech Tips, whether it's I can't think of the Marcus Welby, or whatever his name is, black dude. I mean, real good. I mean, if you want reviews on tech, he gets it early. You have people to do TVs. They'll get the TV for about 3 weeks, and they got to return the TV. So, but they get it for just that. So, yeah, Mario is right. The tariffs will not affect you if you got about 200 platinum trophies. Just said that I need super chats from Nintendo fanboys. That's why. No, I mean, if I walk into a store and I have the money to buy one, I'll buy one. If I don't have the money, guess what? I'm not going to buy one. So, Capono, RDNA 4 and FSR 4 is all encompassing. So it's all encompassing, and it will support FSR 4. They've already declared that. So maybe not right now, but they will just patch that in because that they use RDNA 4's ray tracing for that. But yeah, FSR, the fidelity sampling resolution, 4th edition is part of RDNA 4. So, but let's see. So yeah, so it's going to affect them, and it's already affecting your favorite YouTuber who already did a 10-minute video. Already did a 10-minute video saying how it's going to affect everybody, and what cracked me up, or what I started laughing about, like I said before, what I started laughing about was that the guy literally took the position that, I understand it's going to be tough for people, and I'm not here to sugarcoat why, people can't afford it. Well, see, that's not the way I am. I'm not, look, what did OG Silverback say about Chocolate Thunder? There ain't going to be no easy way because I ain't built like that. Like, I'm not built like that. So, it's, I ain't doing it. I am not doing it. So, that's the way this works. I ain't doing it, But if I can't afford it, it's just like with the monitor I've been looking at. Because I bought an LED monitor, and I'm thinking, why is this not like my OLED? Well, it's two different technologies. So in order for me to get the similar effect of an OLED, I have to turn my brightness down. I gotta turn my brightness down, and that is effed up. So I'm like, well, I'm just looking at an OLED monitor or the OLED TV, whichever is cheaper that can fit on my desk back there. I prefer the monitor, so I've been looking at the Sony monitor, but I know how expensive Sony stuff is. And right now they're at $799 for a monitor. I'm like, okay, this comes down to $749 or $699. I'll go ahead and pull the trigger. This is the 4K one. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. So you can expect your favorite YouTubers to start. It's not that they're not going to stop asking you for donations, but they're going to placate you guys. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Okay, just trust old man Craig, trust Uncle Craig on this. Okay, it's going to start happening here soon. They're already saying things like, "Well, I know I don't get things for free," and so they're going to come to you to help supplement that. So the question will remain with you all: are you going to supplement somebody else's gaming habit? Yes or no? And I don't know what that answer is, because all I can do is tell you it's going to happen. You all have to make up your minds if you're going to support. So you all support for me is just you all being here. That's enough for me to have the conversation. However, when you set up your YouTube thing, it asks you, do you want to monetize or not monetize? Every time I click not monetize, it won't let me go to the next screen. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I don't want your money. Like I don't need it. I'm in a position where I don't need it. So if you just want to leave a like and share the video, and then after the video, if you want to leave a comment, that's all I'm looking for. That's all the engagement I really need from you guys. So I don't want you all to feel that, or believe, not feel. I don't want you all to believe that you have to do that. Okay. So if I can set up a goal if I want to, but that goal always implies super chats. Now I do want you to join as members so you can be in my giveaways. I would like for you all to do that, but I ain't gonna beg you for that. Like I said, I give away. What do I give away? Well, usually I give away $10 to $25 gift cards for PlayStation, and I'm gonna go ahead and add Steam to that as well, because I didn't know you could get a Steam gift card. Like, that's how little I use Steam. But I was at the dollar store yesterday. I'm like, oh, they have Steam gift cards, and I didn't know, right? So I just want you all to understand that's what it's going to do. That's the tariffs on electronics. If the electronic device is in the store physically right now, the price will not go up. However, when they run out, when you go to the shelf and it says empty, check with Stores Associate or something like that, now you're going to pay more. So if you can buy it now, buy it now. If you can. All right, I don't know if you can or you can't. If you need to finance it, like with Amazon, I know the motherboard I looked at, I could finance it for 1 year, $9.88 a month. But it was a renewed, and it was a MSI board, and it was renewed MSI by an AM. What is it? AM4. I have no idea what that shit even means. But the 55B. Now I know they got the 650s out right now. So, but again, my next PC, I'm going to try to get the 9070 card. I'm gonna build it based on that, and the CPU will be a 3700X or 5700X, one of those 100Xs, So it's gonna be an AMD build, and that'll be it. So I have decided to build another computer. So that's that. But I don't have the money to just go out and buy one. So I will shout out to what Hard 8 Times said years ago when he said you don't have to buy it all at once. You can just buy it in pieces. So I've already bought my memory, and I've already bought my power source. So I'm good. I'm good on that. So now I have to buy the chassis, which I'll be buying next week. I'll be like, hey, look, I want this new chassis. I'm going to pull it in there. Pause. So, but let me see if I can show you. Well, no, I don't want to show you all that. That's crazy. So, but yeah, make sure you just leave a like and, leave a like, leave a share, and, for engagement purposes. I don't want the same thing that happened on the podcast last week. Had J-Dub on. We were podcasting and then everything went off. Like, I went offline. All right, so I will be buying a Nintendo Switch and I will be playing Donkey Kong. I wanted to announce that. I also wanted to touch on how the tariffs are going to affect the gaming community, and we've touched on that, and we're fine there. Okay, we're good there. You all understand that. I'm not going to get into the politics. However, what all I'm saying to you all is that if you want something electronic, buy it now. Whether you have to finance it or just go in and pay cash. So, and the reason why is because once it doesn't matter what it is. Like I'm gonna get a new computer camera, right? I'm gonna do computer camera, and when I get the new computer camera, I'm not going to. I mean, the most I'll pay for it is about $50. Why? Because I don't need a professional camera because I'm not a professional YouTuber. So I'll pay $50. So I've already got my eye on one, and I'm looking to buy that next week when I buy my when I buy my computer chassis. So I'm just gonna get that and the chassis all in one. So that'll cost about $150, and that's fine. Maybe I can get it cheaper. Maybe I can get it cheaper. So we touched on that. I want you to know whether you buy cell phones or you buy the watches. Like if you have you all's watches are different than my version of a watch. My version of a watch actually looks like a Rolex or looks like a Timex, a Rolex, an Elgin, a Relic. It looks like that. You all's version of a watch is going to tell you your heartbeat. It's going to tell you when you're about to bust your nut. It's going to tell you how many steps you're taking. That's a watch for you all. You all have wearable technology. That's new for me. Okay, that's new to me. So you can look at your heart rate. You can look. I mean, I'll be in the gym working out, and I'll be seeing people running. They keep looking at their watch. I'm like, what are they looking at the time? And they were like, no, I'm checking my heart rate. I'm checking this. All right, fine. So it's another thing I'm gonna buy. It's grown men. I gotta have me a new watch. I mean, it's gonna happen. I need a new watch. Probably be buying that on Friday. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Nintendo is officially cheek busting, and you know that they are because look at all the complaints that have come in from the people. Well, I can't believe this. I mean, like I said, Chocolate Thunder don't care that you ain't gay. Chocolate Thunder don't care, and Nintendo don't care either. They like the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger don't care. So, and if you can afford it, buy it. If you can't, if you don't think it's worth it, and again, your value system is your value system, and my value system is different than your value system. And so, since my values is different, I'm not going to push what I think is important on you. But if you want, making Snow Bunny a mod, that is mod. She is now a managing mod because all the Nintendo people will now be my managing mods. So, yeah, auto tariffs. I mean, it's just whatever tariff it is, just understand that's the way it's going to work on you all. So, work on us as consumers. So, bananas are going to go up. Seafood is going to go up. So, again, you want to take your wife or you want to take your husband or your baby mama or your baby daddy to Red Lobster or wherever you go to eat your seafood, the Catch, Red Lobster, wherever you go, you better go ahead and start going because when they run out of that catch of the day, when they run out of that when they run out of that trout, when they run out of that's just going to be more expensive to get. Okay? It just is. So, now some things won't change, but a lot of things will. So, yeah, Nintendo came out and did exactly what I told you they were going to do, which the price of games was going to go up. And everybody thought it was going to be Grand Theft Auto, myself included. Had no idea it was going to be Nintendo. And Nintendo has games at $79.99. They have like 3 tiers: $69.99, $79.99, and now is it $89.99? Something like that. So I know, like, what is it, the Mario game or something like that? It's going to cost $90 for the cartridge, or I mean, fine. And so for me, it is funny to see these people just go crazy, and this goes back to the supplementing because again they want Nintendo to supplement them. And you have people say, "Well, Game Pass is doing this." Okay, but that's fine. If you are a major fan of Microsoft, they're right. The guy is right. He said, "I never had to buy anything again with Game Pass." And I talked to a PlayStation guy. He said, "Well, I don't have to buy anything. I'll just use PlayStation Plus." And guess what? That will work fine as well. You know, so but this means they won't be getting Death Stranding. This means they won't be getting, because again, these games right now, I'm telling you, listen, these games are going to go up, and you better be ready. And people are like, well, I can't afford to buy 2 or 3 games. Then don't buy it. It's not the company's fault you can't afford their tech. It's not. Like Steve Jobs, rest in peace of Steve Jobs. He's always said that there's always a group of people out there who will pay more to have something that other people don't have. So and that's what's happening now. And yes, it does suck that I'm not here to say it doesn't suck, but this was I told you all this 14 to 16 months ago. And Nintendo being the first to do it, that's why you're hearing everybody complain about the technology. And you're hearing they're upset over third-party games. Why are you buying a Nintendo Switch for third-party games like Cyberpunk and whatever, Call of Duty? And why are you buying it for that? You buy proprietary technology. You buy proprietary. You know why you buy proprietary technology? Drum roll. It's to enjoy the proprietary things that come with it. That's what you do. Okay? If I want to enjoy PSSR, that's proprietary technology. I have to have a PlayStation Pro. That's the only place I can get PSSR. All right? If I want to play if I want to play Donkey Kong, and I do, Donkey Kong's not going to come to my PlayStation. It's not going to come to the Xbox. It's not. I have to buy the proprietary device that allows that engine to run. And it's no different than if you buy I have a 4K Blu-ray player, right? And it came, my 4K box has always come with a regular Blu-ray and a 4K Blu-ray. And, I go ahead and if I put the 4K Blu-ray in a regular Blu-ray player, it's not going to play because the proprietary tech don't work on it. But the regular Blu-ray player will. So, if I want to play Mario Kart and, Zelda, whatever, I want to play those games and experience those games, I have to buy the proprietary tech to use it. Again, I love when Mark Cerny first showed the PlayStation 5 Pro. When he first showed it, Sony did not show one third-party game running on it. They never did that. They showed you The Last of Us. They showed you Spider-Man. They showed you Infamous Second Son, because they were talking about the boost mode that it had. So, and think about what I just said: Infamous, Spider-Man, and so these PC guys. And so these PC guys, so I'll just wait. Okay, well, you go out there and you be thirsty and you be starving. Everybody else around you's gonna be eating good, So, so at the end of the day, do not buy anything proprietary if you don't like proprietary software or hardware. Just don't do it. Okay, if you don't care about I know a lot of people, a lot of women who have shitty TVs because they don't care about the picture of the TV. Well, it's 60 inches, it's 65 inches. I'm like, well, size don't matter when it comes to a TV. The picture does. Once you get past 55, you start getting redundancies. Nothing at that point matters. So they don't understand that though. Yeah, I understand it because I bought a lot of TVs, and I'm like, no, 48 to 55 inches, it's like a monitor. 24 to 32 is about as much as I can take. And that's how much your eye can take in. That's the curve of your eye. So, that's all it's going to see, right? At the end, what do we do here? If you don't like what Nintendo did, then don't buy the console. But don't sit up there and think. Don't sit up there and think that this shit ain't gonna go up on these other things. Sony will raise the price of their games too. Just get ready for that. Don't complain about it. Don't say, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing this." No. It just needs to be okay. Here's so if you would buy 3 games a year, at 70, you can either start saving right now, save about $20 a month for the next 3 to 4 months. That way, then you get your third game. I don't know why people can't save $10 every 2 weeks and just put it on a gift card. Like, hey, look, I ain't even got it. It's on this gift card. This gift card is, it's in my dresser drawer. I ain't gonna break it open until whatever, Black